Almost all of the news today is the making of predictions for 2024. Therefore, I'm not going to do a news show tonight. I am going to give you a prediction that is going to blow your minds. In the Tesla community, that includes a lot of hand wringing about the numbers due on Tuesday for the fourth quarter. But I'm going to cover my thinking about that on another day, like maybe tomorrow sometime. Some are making predictions about 2024. I have done 3 episodes over the past 3 days discussing my detailed ideas about energy storage, FSD, robotaxis, and the auto divisions. This series will continue. Earlier today, I was working on the first episode for a brand new channel. I've talked about this before, Brian Wang, and I am going to look at the top science stories that are going to likely impact the entire world, impacting the economy and the way that we live our lives. The things that are happening right now, we've just done the first of those. That'll come out maybe later this week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I'll let you know when that's going to come out. Well, after we finished recording, we started talking about 2024 for Tesla. Out of that conversation, a light bulb went out over in my head. And I was wondering, in 2024, Tesla is going to orchestrate a technological convergence like none other in human history. The disruptive impact will be beyond what anyone is expecting. Hold on to your seats. The economy will never be the same. This is Randy Kirk. Please hit like and subscribe and notify. That just helps me out on the channel, but also helps you to remember or be made aware of various the next things that are coming out. Larry Goldberg and I will be doing something for tomorrow. So watch for that. And then, more of these articles that I've been telling you about, where I'm taking every single division and breaking it down and doing it in detail. I have my first Patreon person join up at the $3 level. That's the new level I just added. So you can join at 3, at 5, or 10. I'd surely be happy if a bunch of folks would start doing that. And then, of course, we've got Cybertruck bottle openers. We need you to buy those. Lots of folks putting in reorders. I think I sold 6 yesterday, and I'm not sure about the day because, believe it or not, I haven't even looked at my email yet today. What a crazy day. All right. There has been much discussion about the concept of convergence over the past couple of years, as Tony Seba and Kathy Woods mostly have discussed how the smartphone and the Model S were only possible due to technological convergence at a moment in time. Neither of these products could have been produced in a way that would have been economically successful even 3 years earlier. In fact, in the case has been made for the smartphone that the required tech was basically only a year old when it was released, especially in terms of the battery size and capacity. There was other metrics too, but that's enough for for the purpose of what I'm talking about here. So what we are going to see in 2024 at Tesla is a massive convergence of 5 technologies that will change everything. As Brian noted when we were talking, you can add another technology at SpaceX that will add to the almost surreal plot line that is almost 100% likely to unfold, and that will be the Starlink and the Starship rather, and the impact that is going to have on everything from the military to space to Starlink and maybe even passenger travel in years ahead. But that is going to be another big one that's going to happen shortly. Anyway, the Tesla automotive lineup will, by the end of 2024, be so advanced compared to today and compared to any other auto company that comparisons will cease to make any sense at all. Let's start about what is likely to be the least talked about of the transformative tech. The worldwide leader in manufacturing, Tesla, will make the next gen car using the unboxed method. And people have talked a little bit about this in the news, but not very much. But unless Tesla somehow falls short of their expectations, and I don't think they will, this vehicle will provide specs, functionality, and attractiveness as good as cars selling for $35,000 and higher, but the cost will be $25,000 or less. And in the United States, you subtract another $7,500, and now you have a super safe, low cost to maintain, high performance vehicle that US consumers can buy for $17,500, and in some states, even less than that. The car will be hugely recyclable, even after lasting 25 years or more. And it will reduce emissions of all kind compared to any other vehicle. And the $25,000 price point should be at full margins, or maybe even crazy margins, as we will discuss down below. You see, everyone is concentrating on the $25,000 price point. You know, when the Cybertruck was in design and development, et cetera, everybody was looking at the visual appearance and a few of the crazy specs, like how fast it would go and how much it would haul. But then the Cybertruck rolls out and it changes everything about automobiles and trucks, from the 40-volt system to the steer-by-wire. I mean, the four wheels all turning. I mean, everything, all other cars. It's just change. So when the next gen vehicle comes out, where everybody's just looking at the $16,000 price point, making every car that's under $35,000 obsolete, it will be crazy in terms of how great this car is compared to what everybody's expecting. Maybe it has steer-by-wire, probably does. Maybe it will almost certainly have 40-volt system, etc. So you get my point. It will take Tesla a couple of years to build millions of them, so people will be forced to buy other kinds of cars, but it'll be just nuts in terms of the value proposition, and it will make all other cars seriously look obsolete. On the other hand, there will be simultaneously factories constructed around the world to build millions of them by 2026. So when people talk about whether it's going to be 10 million or 20 million by 2030, as we know, we've been talking about for a while, the generation 3, the next gen car will be the reason why we can see this massive increase over the next several years. Well, all right, that's number one technological advance, unboxed, combined with already the best manufacturing company in the world in terms of return on invested cash, also in terms of productivity. At every level, it's already the best manufacturer in the world, and now you're adding unboxed to it. Okay, we have been waiting patiently for a few products to become mature over the last couple of years. I think you can list the products, but maybe none more critical really than the 4680. I think we can be pretty clear at this point that the 4680 will be ramped to at least 100 gigawatt run rate by the end of 24, and probably a lot more, and probably a lot sooner. This battery production, combined with other existing supply, will take all of the restraints off of all of the products that Tesla builds that require batteries. Moreover, Tesla will bottom line billions in government incentives. The 100 gigawatt alone will result in $4.5 billion in savings to Tesla per year, with more in future years as the ramp continues. When we get to 700 gigawatts, multiply that times 4.5, you're at $30 billion a year in savings. And what you're talking about is a company that's going to make less than $10 billion in 2023. The savings are even bigger than that. Tesla will not only be making the vast majority of its battery needs in-house, but it will also be supplying the lithium from its new refinery, with more additional cost savings there. Well, it goes without saying that Tesla's net cost of the battery will be the lowest by far of any other car company, and the 4680 ramp will allow the Semi, the Megapack, and the Roadster to move into hyperdrive. So expect announcements this year regarding Reno expansion and multiple other locations for mega factories. All right. So now you've got The unbox method and the best factory capabilities and methodologies of any company in the world, adding to that unboxed. And now you've got the 4680 as the second technology that will be added to this package, making the cars far less expensive to build for Tesla than anybody else on the face of the earth. Now combine those two breakthroughs with FSD. As Brian Wang pointed out to me in that conversation, as Dojo ramps up the compute, what used to take 10 hours will probably take 10 minutes. Now I'm just pulling that out of the air. That's probably not the exact number, but you get the point. There's every reason to believe that FSD will be complete this year when you've got that kind of compute going to work for you. Well, this means that robotaxi might also be ready to go this year as well, or if not, soon enough in 2025. And if you watch my video from yesterday where I talk about the robotaxi and FSD, I state that I believe that FSD will be complete this year and that robotaxi will be rolled out in 2025. So that's another technological breakthrough. You add that to the ones we talked about already. Now, speaking of Dojo, the size of the 2024 capacity for Dojo is otherworldly. There's nothing else like it that any company or sovereign nation has. This amount of compute, and this is video language learning, or like language learning, but video. Nobody has anything like it. This amount of compute will allow Tesla to improve their already world-class manufacturing efficiencies, their logistics, their material science, and their tech at every level. Then there's the potential for Dojo to have a commercial side as well, providing AWS-type services to companies that need video analysis. All right, so those are 4 technologies. You add those together, that would be a convergence like no other in history already. I mean, we're talking about crazy numbers in terms of how much less it'll cost Tesla to make a car than anybody else for the same value, same amount, whatever it is, and maybe half the cost of what it's costing other people to make it. In fact, I did a video earlier this year where the batteries might actually be free. After the US government incentives, the batteries might actually be at 0 cost. Okay, how can you compete with that? So on top of all the rest, the number 5 technology that needs to be added is Optimus. If you haven't already seen part 2 of the Connecting the Dots video on Optimus, it's really, really good. I highly recommend you take a look. He estimates that each Optimus robot will save Tesla over $200,000 in employee costs. That's assuming each employee, the average employee, is $50,000 a year, 4 shifts, $200,000 a year. It could be more. It could be $60,000 per average employee, and it could save more than 4 shifts because you don't have all the fooling around and stuff that employees do. Anyway, we'll go with $50,000 a year. That's $25. That's not even $25 an hour because you've got all the other costs that go in. It's more like $18 an hour, which is low. So we're talking about more than $200,000 per robot. And he says, as I have said, that this kind of opportunity would have Tesla pulling out every stop to roll out Optimus in their factories as fast as they could possibly do so. They are not sitting around on this. This is going at full breakneck speed. And other videos that you may have seen this week show that other, humanoid robot factories are well along on having these kind of capabilities as well. So this is not a pipe dream. This is not like Randy's hopium. I've been saying this all year. I've been saying it in the book, The Elon Musk Mission. Even then I said, this is going to happen fast and it's going to be important and it's going to be in use in 2024. It will be in use shortly. It might be in use right this minute, but if it's not, it will be only a few more weeks. So whenever it does happen, let's just say for crazy number, they only build 10,000 of these this year and put them to use. I think it'll be a lot more than 10,000 because, okay, here's my argument. Nobody questions that Tesla will build 70,000 to 100,000 of the Cybertrucks this year. Everybody, that's kind of a normal number. Everybody's like, yeah, probably 70, maybe 100, somewhere in that range. Nobody's questioning that. But everybody gets all upset when I said that they could make 100,000 Optimus robots this year. There's no question they can make 100,000 of them. They could probably make 1 million of them this year. The line is going to be so much simpler than these other lines. It is going to be so much less problematic in terms of, it does this robot doesn't go 60 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour in traffic with 5,000 tons of metal around and 5,000 pounds of metal. I mean, it's really a much less complicated thing to do. But let's just say 10,000 for these purposes. That would be $2 billion per year savings in labor. And I'm saying that out of over 100,000, I think it's like 140,000 employees now and growing, it's not hard to imagine, based on recent statements by experts such as Scott Walter and Sandy Monroe, that the first 50,000 bots will go to jobs within Tesla's manufacturing, warehousing, etc. Now you're talking about a savings of $10 billion a year, or in other words, the entire earnings for 2023 for the company. So you go from making $10 billion this year. If you had already those 150,000 robots working, you would have made $20 billion in the same period. Now, yeah, let that sink in. And this savings will only grow as the company continues to ramp all of its divisions. So, and of course, I believe that not only will they put 50,000 of them to work in the Tesla factory, they will put another 50 or 100 or 150,000 to work elsewhere. Maybe some of those places will even be outside of the influence of Elon Musk into, I don't know, some t-shirt printing companies or something. If you haven't seen that video, you should try to find it and see it. It's a really fun video. Anyway, as Connecting the Dots points out in his video, how will any other car company compete with this convergence? He's only talking about Optimus. He says they won't be able to compete with the fact that Tesla all of a sudden goes from $10 billion to $20 billion in profit because of 50,000 bots being put in place. And they won't have any place to go buy the bots to be able to compete. So he's only talking about one part of the convergence. Now add in the 4680, the refinery, the unboxed method, Dojo, FSD, and Robotaxi. And now do you see what I mean? This is a convergent that blows up everything about the automobile in a way that other car companies will have zero answer other than to license from Tesla. There'll be no other way to go. And even if Tesla could make millions of robots a year, it will take years before they'll be able to satisfy the number of robots that'll be in demand. Well, I know that some of you may think I'm being way too optimistic, and this seems even more optimistic than usual. But the truth is, everything I just said is 100% likely in 2024. And believe me, as usual, I want your comments. And if you don't agree, please be specific. Don't just go, oh, Randy, or, what are you talking about? That's too optimistic. Please let me know, what is the specific area that this is not possible or even likely? I mean, these are likely. And I just don't understand why people don't see it. Here's the juicy part of this story, though. Even our community has not seen this convergence. This is the first time anyone has said it. The street doesn't even get the components. They don't even get the individual components. They're not baking the components into the price of the Tesla stock, much less the power of it all coming together in a single year. So you definitely want to see the other videos in this series on 2024, all the different things that I've already been saying in the energy and in the Tesla automobile area and in FSD, and then the ones that are going to be coming. There's going to be probably at least 7 more of these. Anyway, and this morning I did a video, and I know this will really seem like, Randy, come on, what are you smoking? Don't say that in the comments. Please say why you think that's wrong. I said this morning, Tesla can easily make 3 million vehicles in 2024. I mean, easily. We're not talking about stretch. We're talking about if Elon decided tomorrow, and go ahead, watch the video and tell me I'm wrong. If Elon decided tomorrow he wants to make 3 million videos next year, 3 million videos, 3 million cars next year, he can make 3 million cars. It's all there. The capacity is already there. Look at the video and tell me I'm wrong. So I just challenged Elon. I said, well, come on. If you can make them, you can sell them. And here's a bunch of different ways to sell them. Here's a bunch of different ideas. Here's some ideas of how you can sell a lot more without having to reduce the price. So you want to see that video? Here's the card. Okay. All right. That's it. That's the convergence. We got to start talking about the 2024 convergence. This should become a theme song or something. Maybe somebody could make up some lyrics and some music, and we could have a 2024 convergence theme song. All right. So you want to join Patreon, believe me, it costs a lot of money to put these videos up. It takes all of my time, as you can tell. I'm sure you know that this is a 40-hour a week deal, right? I mean, it's at least 40. It's probably more than 40 hours a week, and I love doing it. But it'd be great if you think you're getting any value out of it to help me out with Patreon. $3 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. That'd be great. And then, of course, you could buy some Cybertruck bottle openers. One more day till tomorrow night at midnight. It is $20 a piece if you buy 2 or more. $25 for one, and then from there on, you buy 2, it's $40. You buy 3, it's $60, etc. All of the information about purchasing those is down in the description below. All the information about Patreon is down in the description below. And yeah, I think that's all I've got for you right now, except to remind you to take a look at, I probably have 3 videos tomorrow, even on New Year's Day. Yeah, you know, somebody's got to do it. I guess I'll be the one. This is Randy Kirk. Hey, it's been great talking to you.